At 2:17 a.m., a motion alert triggered inside a quiet office building. The notification appeared on the phone of a night security guard who was monitoring several properties from a small control room across town. Alerts like this were common. Most nights they were easy to explain. A late employee might walk through a hallway. A cleaning crew might still be working inside the building. Sometimes even something as small as a flicker of light could cause the system to react. But this alert was different, because the building where the motion was detected was supposed to be completely empty. The message on the screen read, "Motion detected camera to B." Camera to B was mounted on the ceiling of the building's second-floor hallway, facing a long corridor lined with office doors. From its position, the camera had a clear view of almost the entire hallway. If anyone walked through that corridor, the camera would capture it immediately. The security guard opened the live camera feed. The hallway looked exactly the way it should at that hour. Dark, quiet, empty. Emergency lights near the floor cast a faint glow across the corridor, allowing the camera to capture the outlines of the walls and doors. Nothing moved. No doors opened. No shadows crossed the frame. Still, the system had clearly detected motion. Assuming the alert might be a mistake, the guard opened the recorded clip attached to the notification. The security system automatically saves a short recording whenever motion is detected. This clip was about 20 seconds long, beginning a few seconds before the motion alert was triggered. The recording starts normally. The hallway remains completely still. Closed doors line both sides of the corridor. The dim emergency lights reflect faintly on the floor. For several seconds, nothing happens. Then, at 2 hours, 17 minutes and 4 seconds a.m., the moment the motion alert activates, something in the image changes. It's subtle. So subtle that most people watching the clip would never notice it. But when the footage is paused and examined carefully, one detail stands out. For a brief moment, the shadow along the wall shifts slightly, almost as if something moved just outside the camera's view. The movement lasts less than a second, and everything becomes still again. No person enters the hallway. No door opens. The clip continues recording for several more seconds before ending automatically. At first, the security guard assumed the system had simply made a mistake. False motion alerts can happen. Small insects flying close to the camera lens can trigger the sensors. Dust particles floating through the air sometimes appear as movement. Even slight changes in lighting can occasionally confuse detection systems. But when the building manager reviewed the footage the next morning, he noticed something unusual. The movement in the shadow didn't look like an insect or dust particle. Objects that pass close to the camera lens usually appear large and blurry in the frame. This movement looked different. The shadows seemed to change farther down the hallway, near the corner just outside the camera's field of view, almost as if something had briefly blocked the light source from around that corner. To understand what happened, the security team decided to review footage from the other cameras in the building. There were several cameras on the same floor. One monitored the stairwell entrance. Another watched the elevator area at the far end of the hallway. If someone had actually walked into the corridor, one of those cameras should have captured it. But when investigators checked the recordings, they found nothing. The stairwell camera showed no one entering the floor. The elevator camera showed the doors closed the entire time. No one stepped into the hallway. No one left. Next, they checked the building's electronic access logs. Every entrance door required either a key card or a security code after business hours. The records showed that the last person to leave the building that night was an employee from the design studio on the 3rd floor. She exited the building at 9:48 p.m., locking the door behind her. After that moment, there were no recorded entries. No key cards used. No doors unlocked. From a security standpoint, the building had remained completely sealed for more than 4 hours before the motion alert occurred, which made the situation even stranger. Because the camera had clearly detected movement, yet none of the other cameras showed anyone entering that hallway. Investigators then began discussing possible explanations. The first theory was that the motion detection system had reacted to a lighting fluctuation. Sometimes small changes in electrical current can slightly alter the brightness of emergency lights, causing shadows to shift. But maintenance logs showed no electrical issues that night. None of the other cameras recorded any flickering lights. Another possibility involved air movement. If a ventilation system had turned on unexpectedly, it might have shifted something in the hallway. But according to the building's system schedule, The ventilation had shut off at midnight. When the hallway was inspected the next morning, nothing appeared out of place. No objects had moved. No papers or debris were on the floor. Everything looked exactly the same as it did in the footage. And that left investigators with a strange conclusion. The camera had clearly detected motion. The shadow had clearly shifted. But the footage never revealed what actually caused it. In the end, the clip from 2:17 a.m. was archived with the building's other security recordings. No alarms were triggered that night. Nothing in the building was disturbed. And in the days that followed, camera to be continued recording normally. No strange shadows. No unexplained motion alerts. Just the quiet hallway under dim emergency lights. But the short clip from that one moment still raises the same question. Because the camera didn't trigger randomly. The motion detection system activated at the exact second when the shadow along the wall changed. Something caused that movement. But the camera never shows what it was, which leaves one unsettling possibility. Whatever triggered the motion alert that night may have moved just outside the camera's view, close enough for the system to detect movement, but never close enough to be seen. And even now, after reviewing the footage many times, investigators are left with the same unanswered question. What actually triggered the motion alert in that empty hallway at 2:17 a.m.?